All right, we're gonna go into the hip mobility drill. This is gonna be broken up into two series. We're gonna have one series where you're laying flat on your back, like so. That's what that looks like. And then we're gonna have one series where you're laying onto your forearms like so. So let's go over the one laying on your back first. You're gonna need a weight or something heavy. I like to have either a 5 to 10 pound dumbbell or something that weighs similar weight that you can push into without moving it, and you can also place it on top of your ankle without your ankle getting crushed. So make sure you have that. The laying down series, I'm going to do all this on one leg and then you're going to repeat it for the other leg. But you're going to start off with your legs shoulder width apart. You're going to place this weight on the inside of your leg. I'm going to lay down. I'm going to start by rotating my hip in, and you want to think rotating from the hip, not trying to move and rotate the ankle necessarily, but from the hip is going to rotate in, not trying to force it, but just whatever you have. I'm going to rotate it in, then I'm going to gently push into this weight for 6 seconds. Just nice and light. I should be feeling my inner thigh, and then I'm going to relax. Again, I'm going to rotate in and gently push into this weight, keeping my knee straight, squeezing the inside of my thigh. I'm repeating that 6 times, gently pushing in for 6 seconds. Once I've done that, I'm going to rotate my hip out. So from my hip, I'm rotating out, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to push into this weight for 6 seconds. And we're going to relax. Again, hip rotates out. All my stuff in my inner thigh is squeezing and gently pushing into this weight. Once I've done that 6 times, 6 seconds, I'm going to go back to rotating in. Once I have it rotated in, now I'm going to push down into the floor. So I'm going to straighten my knee, and I'm going to gently push through my heel, squeezing the back of my leg and my butt to push down into the floor. 6 seconds, and then relax. Again, I'm going to rotate the hip in. I'm going to keep my knee straight and squeeze the back of my leg and my butt to gently push my heel down into the ground. Once I've done that 6 times, I'm going to rotate out and repeat. I rotate the hip out and I'm gently pushing down into the ground. Nice and easy. Again, I have my hip rotated out and I'm gently pushing into the floor for 6 seconds. You'll feel it like you're pushing through your heel. You're squeezing your butt and the back of your leg to gently push into the ground. Once you've done those 4, we are now going to move this weight to the outside. So instead of having our hips right here, we're gonna bring our same leg out about 30 degrees. So if you could imagine what 45 degrees looks like, that would be coming about halfway out. We don't want to go that far. So maybe just a few inches, and then you're going to take this weight and you're going to place it on the outside of your thigh. We're going to lay down again. I'll move this over here so you can see a little bit. We're going to lay down again with our hip out to the side. We're going to go through this whole series. Rotate in again, and now I'm going to gently push into this weight out to the side. I'm squeezing the side of my butt, and then relax. Again, hip rotates in, and then I am gently squeezing and pushing into the weight, pushing away from my other leg, squeezing the side of my hip and my butt to do that. Once I've done that, I'm going to rotate out and do the same thing, pushing into the weight, pushing out, squeezing the side of my butt. Nice and light, and then relax. If you feel like anything is cramping, you're probably pushing too hard, or you've just rotated too much. So maybe back off how much you rotate. Just let it kind of fall out. Keep your knee straight and gently push into that weight. If you're moving the weight, you're probably pushing too hard, or you just have too light of a weight. Mine doesn't move, and I'm doing that 6 seconds. So I did that 6 times 6 seconds with my hip rotated in, pushing out, and then same thing with the hip rotated out. From there, you're going to make sure your hip still is slightly out to the side, and I'm going to, actually I don't need to move my weight, I apologize. Come right back down. You're going to rotate the hip in and then push down into the ground again. 6 seconds, 6 times, just like we did when it was normal. When it wasn't out to the side, you rotate the hip in and you gently push down into the ground. 6 seconds, 6 times. Once you've done that 6 times, you're going to rotate the hip out again. And again, you're pushing down into the ground. Nice and light. I'm squeezing my glute and I'm pushing my leg and heel down into the ground, and then I'm relaxing. Again, I'm keeping this hip rotated out. I'm squeezing my leg and gently pushing down into the ground for 6 seconds. Once you've done all that, you'll repeat on the other side. So I'm just going to quickly again go through that sequence. You're going to be laying down with this weight on the inside of your leg. Imagine me laying down. You're going to rotate the hip in, push into that weight, 6 seconds, 6 times. From there, you're going to rotate out, rotating the hip out, pushing into that weight, 6 seconds, 6 times. From there, rotate back in, push down into the ground, 6 seconds, 6 times, and repeat that with the hip rotated out. Once you get done with those 4, you're going to move your hip out 30 degrees or a few inches, place the weight on the outside of your leg, rotate in, push into that weight, 6 seconds, 6 times. Relax, rotate the hip out, and repeat, pushing into that weight, 6 seconds, 6 times. Rotate back in, push down into the ground, 6 seconds, 6 times. Rotate out, push down into the ground, 6 seconds, 6 times.